What's going on, y'all? So it's just never ending here. So Ubisoft is caught lying to investors. This is gonna be a good one, and it's back at Smash JT. You know he does a good job on certain things. I was just laughing when I watched this. I watched about 75% of it. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and react to this and share this with the world. And I, it just blows my mind. Like, and you could tell this is a French individual talking as well. I just don't know what to say about this, but this is going to be an interesting one. All right, let's go ahead and get into this.
The gameplay for our two highly anticipated upcoming premium titles, Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, was not only praised by players and critics alike, but
Did he just say praised by players and critics alike? Who are they talking about? I guess they must be talking about the woke crowd and certain type of people, because I don't understand what he means by that. Like it's almost like this guy is so lost that he doesn't know that before they called him, they didn't see all the stuff that's going on, like everywhere. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Now I would say I'm more interested in Star Wars Outlaws than I am in Assassin's Creed Shadows, but what I don't like is the way they shaped the female character and just kind of took away the epicness and the badassness to Star Wars. Like this game, like it's apparent to me like what I didn't like what Disney did to Star Wars, which like what are you doing? And like I said, if I play any of these games, it's gonna be on Ubisoft Plus, and I'll get 1 month, and I'll play through that, and I'll play through whatever other Assassin's Creed game I didn't, and I'll play through Shadows. And it's like I'm paying you like what, $16 or $17 for games that would have cost me like in total probably like almost close to $200. I'll go through all of them just like that. You know what I mean? I'm not paying full price for these games. I'm not supporting any of them for full price. Like I said, I am interested in Star Wars Outlaws a little bit, so I could wait to do both of those in one go since I'm just getting the fee for Outlaws. That would be my only way of doing it. Other than that, no. And I've never had Ubisoft Plus before, but that seems like a good deal because of what would be on there. But anyways, let's continue here. This is all pretty funny.
also highlighted the cutting-edge capabilities of our game engine.
I don't know if Ubisoft thinks that we're all stupid or if they're just completely ignorant to reality. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. The recent earnings call from Ubisoft has completed, where Ubisoft executives were painting a somewhat rosy picture of their upcoming titles, including Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws. They conveyed a narrative that was overwhelmingly positive, where the community sentiment was super excited and just couldn't wait to get their hands on these games. Which is interesting because if you pull your head out of the ground and actually look around in reality, you'd realize that it's anything but that. So in this video, we're not going to talk about just the earnings call, but the complete disconnect between Ubisoft corporate executives and actual gamers that are excited about playing upcoming games, and how Ubisoft games are not those.
How much should good car insurance cost you a month? $80? $120? Nope.
Get out of here with that.
Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down how Ubisoft is completely out of touch and disconnected with their actual consumers. You know, the gamers playing their games, the ones they think are super excited about their games and telling investors about how the community sentiment is super positive when in reality it's anything but that. No.
Yeah, I think we all know that. And that's the thing. By the way, this is one of the reasons why, and I want you guys to realize why this is important, because when the investors are calling, they want to see if you have an answer to all this drama. That's why their stock got pulled out big time. This is going back to the big stock loss we see going on with Ubisoft. And if you guys don't know about it, let me just go ahead and do this because we're going to get to why that's important too. In the last 5 days, now because they just had a little positive surge, we're talking about 9% here. For the month, 5% down. So that's not good. And 4.26 USD, man, that's just terrible. Their stock used to be way higher than this. So yeah, they really have to have these games pulled through for them or they're going to be in some trouble. I still think they'll recover over time with other IPs, but right now, yeah, it's not looking great for them.
Honestly, let's be full disclosure, I'm sure there are a couple people out there that are genuinely excited about Star Wars Outlaws, and hell, even Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm sure you can find a few people that are excited about it, don't care about the background, the community backlash, the reality, Wikipedia changes, any of the stuff that's going on. People just want to play the games and have fun with them, and there might be some people out there looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the vast majority of gamers that I have interacted with and seen online talking about these games do not want anything to do with them. Ubisoft reported their first quarter earnings for 2024-2025, stating they have a strong upcoming release slate with Star Wars Outlaws
They could have.
and Assassin's Creed Shadows. The narrative they conveyed was one of overwhelming...
But I will say that I know that Shadows is going to sell better than Mirage, because it's a full AAA game, and it just has that tone to it to where it could do that, because Mirage didn't sell nowhere near as much as they wanted. And I don't know why they don't include them on Steam, too. I kind of think they're hurting their sellers by not doing that. But Japan's going to be at a backlash for that as well. So, and then sometimes with this type of controversy, some people might buy it to see what the hell's going on too. So, you know, as far as this game selling like crap, I wouldn't necessarily say that that would be the case. But we need to see what's going to happen to it with Metacritic, and we need to see what else is going to be going on. I think Star Wars is going to sell more than this game.
Positivity and anticipation, contrasting starkly with, you know, the actual sentiment running through the gaming community, the truth, reality, you know, that little thing.
What we have factored in is a strong launch for Star Wars Outlaws that reflects the fact that indeed it's among the most awaited game of the industry this year, and reflecting a really strong positive community sentiment.
During the earnings call, a Ubisoft executive was answering questions.
I don't know about the most awaited game.
Sentiment is so great, and how these games are going to carry Ubisoft to the promised land. And they said some things that really raised some eyebrows.
And also, we expect the Shadows to be the most ambitious title of the series, and should do.
Now that I'm going to say, what the hell are you talking about? That is not true. Ambitious means that, like, you're putting your heart and soul into it, and it's literally going to outshine everything else. Bullshit. No, if you wanted it to be the most ambitious title, you would have worked with the smartest race on Earth, Japan. Then you would have had a very ambitious game. Set with the male Japanese protagonist, and I guess the female if you wanted to add her in too. But I think when it comes to war and Japanese history, you know, the male should be highlighted like big time. So there should have been a male Japanese samurai and a male Japanese ninja if we wanted to be historically accurate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, him saying that, it's like, dude, no.
Do very well for the busy season.
During their earnings call, Ubisoft described the gameplay for their anticipated titles like Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows as not only being praised by players and critics alike, but also how they showcase cutting-edge capabilities of their game engine. And
that's true.
The thing. I guess if you want to take a gigantic
but
step back and just look at these games,
that's just visuals.
For what they are at the end of the day.
We know Ubisoft has good engines.
I mean, sure, I guess they look alright from a certain perspective, as long as you don't look too closely at how they made characters look a certain way, or how they chose to go certain directions with the storytelling.
Yeah, this is DI's bullshit.
There's DEI injected into these games, and how they're trying to make people ignore all that stuff because they just want to sell their games. But investors weren't having any of it. Right after the earnings call, the stock tanked, dropping nearly 10% in a day and continuing down over the following days. But don't let facts get in the way of a good story. Ubisoft executives continue.
The Shadows to be the most ambitious title of the series, and should do very well through the busy season.
Okay, so and when you talk about it being the most ambitious, are you hoping for it to be the best-selling Assassin's Creed game? Is that how I can read that commentary?
The corporate enthusiasm seems to be at odds with the actual general sentiment of the gaming community, something that I've been covering at length on this channel between Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, two games that in theory could potentially be incredible experiences. But when you actually dive into what's transpiring behind the scenes with these games and how it's being injected with a bunch of stuff that nobody actually wants, it's turning a bunch of gamers off. Ubisoft's approach to handling said backlash appears to be pretty dismissive, focusing only on promotional narratives that highlight theoretical success and innovation, Their statements in the earnings call reflect a much broader issue within Ubisoft, a complete and utter disconnect with the gaming community at large. It feels like the company is operating in a bubble sometimes, projecting their success and positivity with rose-colored glasses, while completely glossing over real criticisms and concerns from actual players. They just...
See, it's interesting that he says that, because the same thing they're doing, the people that are defending them and attacking Japan and calling them racist and all those other ignorant people, they're doing the same thing while they're ignoring all the professional criticism, all the stuff that's pointed out, and just want to focus on him just being a samurai and it being a black person. And it just blows my mind how ignorant some people are. They don't live in reality either, and they can't see much. So, but obviously, like I said, that was the agenda that they wanted, and it is working for them to a certain extent. But yeah.
Put their fingers in their ear and scream, la 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 la, we're making games, you'll play them because we're putting them out there. We're Ubisoft, we're a professional AAA game company. And even if we're not, just take our word for it because we're saying we are. Buy these games. And if you don't want to buy them, okay, buy Ubisoft Plus. Just give us money and we promise that you'll have a game that has a menu that you can press start on and hopefully play and maybe find some fun and be indoctrinated in what we want you to listen and learn. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, indoctrinated.
For Ubisoft, just do what we want you to do, please. Why can't you just play our games? When questioned about Assassin's Creed Shadows aiming to be
Pretty
the
much.
best-selling game of the series and how pre-orders compared to previous titles, the response was pretty damn evasive. Ubisoft's representative stated that they do not...
Now let's see what he's about to say.
...comment on pre-orders, yet they continue to emphasize how these titles are some of the most anticipated games coming out in gaming, ignoring the community sentiment that is anything but that.
Could you talk about pre-orders for both Outlaws and Shadows and how they compare to previous titles?
So in terms of, we don't disclose nor comment pre-orders usually. What we can say is that what we've been observing and measuring is that our two big titles actually are indeed among the most awaited games of the industry, and they enjoy very strong positive community sentiment overall.
What the hell was that supposed to mean? It sounds like this guy was dodging the question because he could not provide the sentiment that he was trying to feed him. The investor knows that he's lying, and he knows he's dodging it. And he just does not see that as groundbreaking news, or for something being very ambitious, or for strong sales. Because I feel like if records are being broken and that type of stuff, that's something you want to mention. So we could all see and realize that that is complete bullcrap, and that is not the case. So everything that we did, it is helping, because look at what's going on here. This is helping, guys. If we wouldn't have did anything, it would have been way worse. So everything we did put a dent in them, and it's good that we did this.
Response does not confront any real issues at hand. The gaming community and the sentiment at large is very anti these games right now. And instead of acknowledging that and trying to change the community sentiment, Ubisoft is willingly and willfully ignoring what people are telling them and just saying, we're going to give you this game and you're going to buy it and you're going to like it whether you like it or not. Which doesn't make much sense. On top of that, Ubisoft is starting to block detractors, which is just wild to me. Now, I could understand a one-off or a no-name account out there that would just say, hey, I got blocked by Ubisoft, like a troll account. But they blocked Manga Lawyer, one of the most respected Twitter accounts.
See, this is the guy that I just recently made a video about, revealing certain information of showing how that historian stuff was just, you know, not real, proving that he was a server. No, it wasn't real. And that they literally made that trending along with all the ignorant people, thinking that that was true and it wasn't real. Why do you think Ubisoft blocked him? This guy knows the truth just like I know the truth. And they saw that, they didn't like that, so they blocked him. That's a negative response. We know that. That means they read it and saw it. That's some huge stuff right there, y'all. You see, like the stuff that I share, I know what I'm talking about. The people that I'm highlighting, you see, my intuition brings me right to it. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I know what I'm talking about here. It's the ignorant people that don't know what they're talking about. They just want to say something because they want to see something on the screen, and that's it. And they're closed right into that. That's it. Or they'll try to grab something to defend that, and that's it. Yeah.
accounts out there when it comes to finding information and dirt on these companies, just calling it like they see it, using facts and evidence to show the proof of their theories and say, here's the reality, here's what's happening, make your own decision. Ubisoft, instead of confronting that and acknowledging it and trying to make it better, blocked him. The gap between Ubisoft's public statements and the...
Because they don't care. They don't want to hear it. They're trying to push an agenda.
Shows more challenges growing like mold in the industry when it comes to those participating in DEI. Companies like Ubisoft must not only listen to their player base, but also...
So if you think about that, they blocked him. They only want the type of people who want to support that. And who are they targeting, y'all? You see what I mean? So the people that are now with that, get out of my way. I'm blocking you, and I'm going to go to the people that are going to support my game. And I'm going to stay in that mindset, and that's all I'm going to see. Makes sense, doesn't it? That's why they didn't work with Japan, because they knew that wouldn't happen. See, this was never about working with Japan. This was about the agenda that they wanted to push, and it says a lot about the industry.
Actively engage and address concerns that are arising. Ignoring significant segments of the community or misrepresenting sentiments can lead to broader disconnect, ultimately impacting the game's reception and commercial success potential, which is exactly what's transpiring here. And like I said earlier, this did not fool any investors. After they answered these questions, it didn't matter the stock tanked anyway, because people see the sentiment, they see the reality.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's what I was saying in my other video. They know the reality. They see all of that. The elites are always watching. The investors are always watching. A way to have an opportunity to increase their stocks and make more money. You know what I mean? They're watching. They want to see what's going on. All of Wall Street is watching. All of Japan is watching. When you have these type of topics, it's very important to realize what's going on here. And so many different levels. Education, history, revising, profit, stocks, agendas. I mean, you can't just see this as a video game. It's so much more than this. You have to realize just even what they were doing to Japanese history and how they're revising things. Just it goes far beyond that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we got to see that.
Ubisoft is not only lying to you as a gamer, but now proof in the pudding right here that they are lying directly to the investors, straight up saying, yeah, the community sentiment's great about these games and we're really excited about the hype surrounding them, when the reality is anything but. And personally, I'm genuinely curious on the legal ramifications from making statements like this. Like, yeah, sure, it's generalizing and it's giving your thoughts and feelings and opinions to the investors, but in reality, it's giving them a perspective that is an incorrect picture that is being painted. The community sentiment is anything but positive right now regarding Star Wars Outlaws and especially Assassin's Creed Shadows. And while Ubisoft needs these games to be massive successes in order to continue in business, that doesn't give them the right.
Like to Ubisoft, they see both of these games selling 10 million copies. And for that guy saying Assassin's Creed was going to be the most ambitious, and it's going to sell the most, come on, man. Assassin's Creed 2 sold 9 million copies in 6 months. Around that time, Valhalla was the fastest selling in the first month. I don't see Shadows doing this.
To straight up lie to investors. And I've seen some people on my Twitter already reaching out to lawyers wondering about the legal ramifications to saying things like this to investors, to companies, telling them that these games are highly anticipated and that the community sentiment is great and everyone is so excited about them, when that's not the case. Ubisoft's handling of the Assassin's Creed Shadow backlash in their earnings call serves as a reminder to how game developers and publishers can become alarmingly out of touch with their audiences, choosing to focus on their self-praise narrative rather than addressing any real criticism or concerns. Ubisoft has risked not only success of their titles, but also their reputation in the gaming community. At least, whatever reputation they have to salvage left. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information on this story, check.
But there you go, guys. Isn't that interesting? Like, it just blows my mind, like, the dealing directly with the investors. It's like, this is how you know how out of touch you are. You should have known about how the investors would have seen everything that's been going on. And then you come to them with that type of story, like they're going to buy that. Pull that stock out, son. What you talking about? That's what happened. I mean, come on, man. I thought he would have just had something better to say. That just blew my mind, and just to tell you, just like, wow, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The French are involved in this. Now you see that guy was French. He's not American. You can tell by his accent. But this is nothing against French people. I love the French culture. You know what I mean? They're awesome. Paris is awesome. But this is just specifically what is going on in that company that is supposed to be representing, that culture, and they need to do a better job. But there you have it, guys. Like, subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'll be bringing you more. As you see how deep I am in this, I ain't covering this casually. Oh no, I'm giving you the whole picture, and we're going through the whole entire show of this damn thing. But there you have it. All right, y'all. Enjoy y'all's day or night wherever you're at around the world. Peace out.